After hours postal sorting floor promise on the change of address. The city's main post office sounds like patience if you stand in the right spot. After midnight, the lobby is a cathedral of echo, the metal gates half down like reluctant eyelids, and the fluorescent saints buzzing with a faith too stubborn to be pretty. I signed the night register with a pen that made me briefly honest and slid my phone into my left pocket, the pocket I use for things that are supposed to make it home. Beyond the locked windows, the sorting floor worked itself, belts whispering, bins confessing in plastic. I told myself I was there for a package. Back home, Julian had said, "Can we talk tomorrow?" in the voice that means please stay now. Our couch has a law degree it didn't earn. Give it 10 minutes and it will swear you in. I left before either of us built opening statements we'd resent by breakfast. On the stairwell, my screen lit with a message from M. Mateo in my contacts, M in the way I label hazards to make them smaller. Back dock is open. Just talk. Roofs forgive nobody in daylight. Conveyors pretend they will. By day, I fix other people's paragraphs. By night, I try not to turn my own into weapons. Julian and I keep a code that works when we remember it. T means come here, you awake. Means I'm scared. Tomorrow means not yet, but don't go far. Mateo drifted back into orbit 2 months ago wearing a carrier's jacket, unzipped one too many, and a laugh that sounded like a glass agreeing to be set down gently. He didn't ask for anything. That was how I started bringing him everything. He was waiting by the cage elevator, sleeves pushed, collar unpunished, a tray of mail tubs like domesticating evidence. He didn't smile with his mouth. He let the corners of his eyes make most of the moral effort. "You came," he said, "because grown men still pretend that's news." "I came to return something," I said. "My root key, your good sense." "Your name," I said. "It's been on my mouth too long for its own health." He reached into the tub and pulled out a change of address form, the kind that makes promises you only mean for 30 days. He set it on a rolling table and slid a blunt pencil toward me. "3 words," he said. "Why are you here?" "3 words is cruel," I said. "That's why they work." He nodded toward the belts. "No speeches on the floor, things jam." I wrote proud at breakfast. Beneath it, smaller like a fuse I wasn't sure I'd dare to light, touch before arguing. He read the graphite as if it had temperature. He didn't touch me. His hand hovered a breath from my lapel, the distance a match keeps during training, and fell away like the forklift camera was grabbing us. "Does he know?" Mateo asked. He didn't need to weaponize the pronoun. "He knows the apartment is quiet," I said. We rode the cage down to the sorting level where the air wore paper dust and perseverance. Conveyor belts yesed under sacks. The canceling machine sighed like a god who decided to keep working. Mateo stepped into my weather, heat arriving before hands do when men are trying to be better than their appetites. "Tell me no," he said gently. I didn't. I met him in the inch that rewrites evenings. His mouth tasted like mint and a risk that keeps receipts. When his hand found the back of my neck, his grip remembered humane limits. My body answered like a courtroom that wants the witness anyway. He made the sound men make when a small country surrenders and calls it diplomacy. I made the one I've learned not to hate in the dark. We didn't rush. Belts prefer rhythm. His mouth found the hinge of my jaw. Mine found the line behind his ear where regret loses vocabulary. His palm slid under my shirt and rested flat a second. "Do you swear?" Then moved with attention rather than appetite. He guided my hand down with the steadiness of someone who respects tools. I closed my fingers and he exhaled into my mouth a truth nobody paid to hear. He reached for me and I let him. We stayed quiet because metal prefers prose. The stamps didn't watch us. The fluorescent saints pretended to hum louder. "We already cheated," he said later when breath remembered its job. We cheated when we started telling each other the truth before we told it at home. I know, I said, and somewhere a tray of letters learned to stand straighter. He folded the change of address form and slipped it into my left pocket with ceremonial slowness. His thumb traced my wrist once and chose not to stay. He stepped back the moral inch that passes inspection. I booked a room, he said, not triumphant. Weather report, not prophecy. Refundable. We could stand at a window and not touch for 60 seconds just to prove we remember ceremony. We could keep the do not disturb honest. I'm tired of being clever, I said. Clever, a forwarding service, he said. Accurate is delivery. He plucked a novelty magnet from a bin of broken badge clips, a freebie shaped like a stamp, ridiculous and perfect, and pressed it into my palm. For your fridge, he said. Cold helps letters behave. We took the stairs up because elevators misunderstand certain kinds of silence. He kissed me again, brief, exact, something a manifest could keep without lying to itself, and let me out through the dock door where the night had decided on a decent temperature and stuck with it. The ramp smelled like rain and envelopes. The city did not ask for a signature. The crosswalk gave me time, I took it. The apartment offered its square of kitchen light and the fridge's patient hum. Julian sat on the floor with his back against the door, sleeves pushed to his elbows, one ankle crossed over the other, the posture manuals use when they draw people who are about to fix things. He didn't ask where I'd been. He tilted his head toward the place beside him. I sat. "Do you want to be asked?" he said, voice steady, not performing mercy, offering it. "Please," I said, because prompts are the scaffolding of my better self. "Are you lonely?" "Some nights," I said. "Not here, not when you ask first, not when the kettle outruns the reasons." I took his wrist and placed his hand on my forearm the way he does when he needs to check whether I'm inventing weather. His thumb traced once and decided to believe me. "I feel useful," he said. "I want to be wanted before I'm useful." "Tonight's procedure," I said. "Touch first, argue second, report later." The kettle clicked like a stamp in a country that still believes in mail. He stood and poured water over mint. We named it dinner because names are cheaper than regret. I pinned the form beneath the stamp magnet so Proud at Breakfast faced the room. Julian read the graphite and his mouth did the smaller, braver thing. He took the dry erase marker from the cup by the fridge and wrote beneath the magnet, "Tomorrow, keep the torque." He didn't grin. He nodded like a man assembling a morning from honest screws. We made a rule that isn't noble. When prosecution tries to wear a bathrobe, one of us says sorting floor and the other puts the kettle on while the first puts his hands where history can find them. We agree to 5 words when 5 are enough. We stop at the shoulder, not the ditch. We try to want what we promised, and when we don't, we write 3 words on small paper and tell the room we'll fail differently tomorrow. Days do what days do when you're trying to be an amateur human with professional consistency. The form in my pocket learns the shape of my left hand. Paper learns its carriers. On the late bus, I draft messages to no one that begin "I didn't ask" because I thought that counted as kindness and end "May your breakfast go right." I don't send them. The not sending feels like a skill borrowed from belts that decide to keep moving. A week later, afternoon tries to be a test. I walk past the post office and buy nothing. I leave a bottle of water on the steps with a note, "For whoever is waiting for a sister." The dock manager glances up and gives me the nod bridges use when they've held and will hold again. On my way home, I slip a blank forwarding card into my pocket and write "Turn toward your name" across the clean side. I don't light anything. That night we eat toast like it has been newly invented. We fail, and fail differently, and fail in ways that don't require anyone to stand under fluorescent saints pretending to know which conveyor will save them. The room does not demand a verdict. The morning remembers its job. And when we say tomorrow out loud, it means only what we let it mean.